So let's get into the presentation, digitally communicate with your customers. Of course, you're here as you want an answer to the question, how is the best way to communicate with them, particularly when it comes to using Dynamics 365 CRM or Dynamics 365 for marketing. So this presentation is about using these tools to remain in contact with your customers or prospects during this challenging time. So for those who don't know me, my name is Zach. I am a marketing assistant at Technology Management, and I've got around 5 years of experience in creating content for manufacturing companies. Initially starting off with PR and now, of course, explaining the benefits of Microsoft Dynamics to manufacturers and distributors alike. So I'm a Microsoft certified Dynamics 365 for marketing functional consultant associate. So obviously that's easy for me to say. And I essentially use these tools every day as part of my job. Anyway, enough about me. Let's move on to the software that you've all come here for. So very quickly, before I get onto that, I have some housekeeping that I must go over. So here we go. So can you hear me? Is everything clear? If the answer is no to either of those, please just feel free to comment on the chat and we'll try our best to resolve this for you. The presentation will last around 20 to 25 minutes and we'll allow some additional time at the end to field any questions to help you out. I'll also be joined here with Jason, hopefully the head of CRM here at TechMan, so please don't hesitate to ask. So what we'll cover, the challenge, how are you communicating with your customers at this present time? The solution to help you out, so this will be CRM or the marketing app. The demo will help you to visualize exactly what I'm talking about, and hopefully we can nail the points that you want addressing. And then of course, Q&A at the end. So this isn't going to be an explicit demonstration of how you can get more sales. This is going to be a demonstration of how you can improve your communication with your customers and prospects, which of course may result in more sales, but there is a distinct difference there. Of course, we're well aware that there are still people out there on the government's furlough scheme, so it's not the best time to start hammering sales down people's necks, but it is an important time to keep your communication streams flowing. So how are you communicating with your customers? Let's start with the basics of opening hours and key contacts. Everybody is always searching for an update on what's available and when they can get it. You need the ability to express the correct message at the right time. So you need to communicate all sorts of things, delivery schedules, order placing, payment terms, education, teach your customers or prospects new things. So just like today, you've either got or are considering using this software, CRM or the marketing app, and we're just trying to give you a clear picture of how it can help you. This solution I'm about to talk about can really help you from a time-saving point of view. You no longer have to manually copy and paste the same email over and over to different people. You can set up the content that you want to go in advance and focus on the issues in your business that really matter. Of course, it's important for your brand to be there for your customers. They want to hear your voice, believe it or not, and feel that reassurance that you're there. They'll remember that you were there for them in the not so great times, helping them in any way that you could, rather than sitting in the shadows, ready to pounce with your offers when normality resumes. So strengthening relationships with your customers and prospects is priceless. But in the same breath, we all know that it's much easier to get repeat business than it is to secure new business. So how are you communicating now? It's a rather in-your-face question, but just take a few seconds and reflect on what you've been up to. Has it been a pain? Do you just want to take it to the next level? Or do you just want to explore the other options out there? You shouldn't have to be going from a marketing platform to Excel to another system just to get an email sent out. You want it all to be fully integrated in the same place so you can have a clear picture of what is going on. Otherwise, I can almost guarantee that you don't enjoy a single second of compiling the reports on the success of your campaigns. That's for sure. So ease of use, repeatability, reliability, that's what you ideally want from a communication system. So Dynamics 365 for marketing is what we use every day here at TechMan. So this is a SaaS, so software as a service platform by default. There is a monthly subscription and they are independent apps, so you can choose what's relevant to you. If you want, you can just get Dynamics 365 for marketing, but Microsoft have knitted both CRM and marketing together in a way that makes sense to get both of them together. So CRM, sales, customer service, account management. I'm sure you all know the drill of what a CRM system is, but for the purpose of this demo, CRM is where your accounts and contacts are going to lie and be sat. So this is where you place your MDs, FDs, ITs, ops contacts, whatever you've got, you name it, all of your contacts will be living in CRM. From there, we can begin to market and send the correct information to them using the marketing app. To clarify, all the contacts and accounts that are living and breathing in my CRM system are accessible and can be leaned on and used with the marketing app. It's all just one integrated system, but again, you can just get the marketing solution independently if you wish. But this is the beauty of Microsoft's Common Data Service platform, where accounts and contacts are stored and become visible across customer service, marketing, CRM, and more. I only need to maintain my data once. I don't need to flick through different systems to make a change. It's seamless. So if you do have that concern about exporting lists and data, you won't need to worry about that here. Again, Dynamics 365 Marketing, this is a tool we use every day for our marketing here at Techman. We can create customer journeys. You're likely to identify those as campaigns. We can also create events. This is something we're actually in the throes of implementing ourselves. Landing pages, social media posts, and there's also the capability to conduct a survey by leveraging the capabilities of Forms Pro. Another key point that will be on somebody's tongue on this webinar is GDPR. So yes, we can create marketing forms and marketing pages that in turn will form a subscription center, which gives people the power to unsubscribe from you if they so wish. But we'll get onto that more later anyway. Just as a side note, we do also work with a tool called Click Dimensions. There are some functional differences along with cost differences, but again, it's all about going with the solution that suits your business best. So nevertheless, I think that's enough PowerPoint from me. So let's just dive into exactly what I've been talking about. So here we are. We're on the homepage of the marketing app, and you can see I've got a nice little welcome, Zach. So before you start composing emails and creating the latest campaign, which you'd love to be a smash hit, of course, to start off with, let's dive into segments. So quite simply, without an audience, what is the point? So in segments, we have two different types. We have either a dynamic segment or a static segment. So a dynamic segment, here you can filter the criteria that you would like to pick up contact based on what you have in your CRM system. So for this example, I will just search for our food new business segment, click into it, and you can just see from the definition here, I have different filter criteria that is essentially picking up the contacts. Here we have industry type, food and beverage, and again, manufacturing, food and beverage here. So I also have the freedom to edit this at any time I would like, or stop it or export this list. But once I've created this list and this filter criteria, that's it. Every time a salesperson adds a new account tagged in the food industry, then a new contact tagged as an MD, they automatically get added to this list. I don't need to stress or fret about this again. What I want has been defined. Now you're probably slightly concerned, well, what numbers are you basing that off? If I just quickly scroll to this Insights tab here, you can see that it's giving me that peace of mind that my segment members aren't falling off a cliff, and they should be gradually increasing, but they have decreased only because we've added some other filter criteria to it more recently. So now you're probably wondering, so what if I want to just change the criteria of this list from, let's just say, the food and beverage to building materials? So if I scroll down here and go into this query view field, you can see a load of different text here. If I just copy all of this, so I've copied it, go back over to my segments, create new dynamic segment. We'll just skip this, straight back into this query view field here, copy, and then should be in my flow view when I click on it, and there we go. I haven't had to manually create this list over and over and over again and adding all these different fields. I can just simply go in here and change this from food and beverage to whatever I want. So again, really handy feature to have. But if I wanted to even just cut that out and make it even quicker, I can just quickly save as template. So every time I go in to create a new list, I have this template ready. So I can just switch this list between food, industrial equipment, general, you name it. It's really easy and really useful. So as I mentioned, we also have a static segment. So if I quickly search for the one that I've built earlier, which is marketing test. So I've created all of the people in marketing that work here at Techman in one list. So I can test send them any emails we plan to send out to all of you. These are great when you just want to create a quick and easy list rather than filtering by an entire portion of people, such as food MDs. Another common query we get is, well, can I exclude people from a list that I don't want to meet that X criteria? So you can see here, I've got a static segment of the Sofa Summit 3 bookings, and we have this field here, but not. So essentially what this is doing is it's filtering everybody who is a food MD, but not the Sofa Summit 3 bookings. So essentially, everybody who is a food MD and has already booked on Sofa Summit, they're not getting the promotional emails, as I don't want to waste their time reading more promos about an event they've already booked on. So again, it's really useful to have this ability to easily exclude people from lists. Also, just want to quickly show a really useful feature here known as check for errors. So check for errors, you can see my segment, it's passed the test. If I just go into a new dynamic segment, for example, skip everything and check for errors, I've got these notifications to view. The segment name can't be empty, the segment query can't be empty. So when you're initially getting to grips with this marketing app, the system is going to alert you to any mistakes that you're making early doors. So again, really useful to have when you're first getting to grips with a new marketing tool. So there we've just covered building new segments, both static and dynamic. So essentially we have an audience. So let's move on to the next step, which would be marketing emails, building the marketing emails. So our segments will make up the people that we're going to send something to. And the marketing email is exactly what we're going to send. So let's just go through that process. You'll see off the bat, when I go to create a new marketing email, I have a range of different templates. So here we go, we have a range of different templates. You'll see the ones that actually have the images on them. These are the Microsoft templates. But let's just say that we don't have any templates whatsoever and we just want to rely on the marketing templates. This is the easiest way to just show you just how easy it is to customize your own emails. So we'll scroll down and find one that we think looks okay. So I think this one looks okay. Essentially, you'll see here on the right hand side, we've got a toolbox. The toolbox is all of the sort of email builder fields. So we've got text, image, dividers, buttons. You know, these are pretty self-explanatory. And the properties, there are no properties available here. But when we actually get clicking on this email, for example, this read more button, we have the properties. The properties have been populated and we can quite simply, let's just say we don't want the button to be blue anymore. We can change it to red and there we go. It's changed straight away. Let's just say we don't want this text to be green anymore. We can change it to purple. This person lazing about on the floor, we could quite easily just, again, go over to the properties, search for something that we want. So let's just say our opening hours. And again, it's very much a click on what you want to change, come over to your properties, search for exactly what you want, and just place it in there. So straight away, obviously it's not a perfect email. I've changed no text whatsoever, but I've already got the very basic building blocks of a Techman email. So let's just add a subject line of something basic, just really quickly, of hi. and we'll check for errors, it's probably going to stumble over and alert me to something that I haven't done. So this is again the sender and receiver. So this is essentially just who you're sending the email from. But in general, this email is good to go. As long as I changed who we're actually sending it from, you see I've got no reply to address. That would be good to go. So of course, that was just a speed run through of the marketing email builder. But let's just have a look at a more refined template example. So we'll go back onto our marketing emails. We'll go new, and we have our templates here. Opening hours test. So again, translate it to your business. It's a really easy email to create. Just has our opening hours, a nice little banner, Monday to Friday, 8 till 6. A nice little message. Our opening hours have changed. Moving forwards, we'll be open from 8 till 6. Again, this is a more refined email compared to the one that we just had that had a load of Latin text from Microsoft. But having this range of templates is, of course, a beneficiary to your marketing team, as it saves them creating the email layouts for something such as opening hours over and over again. You can always go back to it, and it's all about saving you that time. So that was a speed run of building marketing emails, but hopefully you can see that the potential is there for you to customize and build some really nice looking emails that you can send out to your customers. But let's just stick with this opening hours email, but let's make a swift transition over to talking about marketing pages and marketing forms rather than emails. But more specifically, GDPR, that we should all care about, and obviously we don't want to get fined for. So you'll see here on this email, if I scroll down, I have this manage preferences button, which is essentially an unsubscribe button. So let me just check for errors first of all. So I'll just, for the purpose of showing you, quickly change these fields to something that is authenticated. Here, probably going to be making a load of spelling errors as I'm doing this on the demo. I think that looks pretty good. So we'll check for errors. So as I was talking about, we have this manage preferences button here, which essentially allows people to unsubscribe. So what happens if we just get rid of it? What happens if we get rid of the whole section and we've just created a new email and we think, yeah, that looks good, but there's actually no unsubscribe field? So straight away, if I go on this check for errors, you'll see I've got 4 notifications now that I need to look at. The one to take note of is a subscription center link is missing for commercial messages, and also the legal physical address is missing. So Microsoft take GDPR very seriously, as we all should nowadays. At the very least, we need to be giving people the freedom to unsubscribe if they've had enough. So again, there's a flag waving in your face telling you that you're not complying with GDPR when you get the marketing app up and running. So every Microsoft template will come with the option to unsubscribe. So if we go get off this email for a second, dive into a new one, we can literally pick any of the Microsoft templates. So this one, scroll to the bottom here, and you'll see dynamically they have defined the subscription center, the address main. So Microsoft are trying to cover your bases when you are getting up and running with this. So as I mentioned, you will need to set up your own subscription center, but this would be a webinar on its own on how to get that set up. So for now, I will just share a link with you all at the end of the webinar so you can check it out and just see exactly how building a subscription center would go. But let's just brush over the basis of the marketing forms. So if we go to marketing forms, we'll just get off this template here. And let's just go on new and click the most basic one that we can see. So Corfu, this is a subscription center form type. So we have this core foo form here. It's essentially giving us the basics of what we need to form a subscription center landing page. So we have first name, last name, email address, and a submit. It's as easy as it gets. Again, we could customize this here with the toolbox and the properties, but we'll just get off that for now. As it's key to remember that the marketing form that we have here forms part of the marketing page. So let's go over to our real world example of our TechMan subscription marketing page and subscription center. So as mentioned, the form is part of the page. So really basic form we have here with the white background, and we've obviously customized this in the TechMan teal. So you can, of course, create your own landing pages to drive people to register their interest in what you'd like. So maybe you've got your own buy one, get one free offer and want people to put their contact details in to learn more. You can do that. Not every marketing page and marketing form has to be a subscription center. And there are different marketing pages. So landing pages, subscription centers, as I mentioned, and forward to a friend pages. Just being on this marketing page here, it gives us a real good excuse to check out the Insights tab, which is really useful feature again. So you can see here I've got this location map, and this is a real world example. So all of this is real data. So you'll see that I've got a date range in the corner here, and this map. Let's just say I wanted to dive into it. You can see I've got form submissions across the United States, for example. Just translate this to your business, ignoring the fact that this is a subscription center. Just imagine that this is a landing page. It's nice to know where your interest is coming from geographically. This is great info if you want to set up a future event. Say you've got a landing pages with a load of registering your interest for a buy one, get one free offer. If you've got a load of people submitting that form that are living in Scotland, you don't want to be hosting your events in Cornwall, for example. So that's just a brief insight into the actual insights you can get from the forms and pages that you can create within Dynamics 365 for marketing. So let's just make another swift transition over to customer journeys. So customer journeys, otherwise known as marketing campaigns. Without sounding like a stuck record, you can save your own templates here and reuse them as you please. But let's just pick one that every company is likely to have to do. So a customer onboarding template. We have all these different fields here. So segments, the loyalty members, the marketing email message, welcoming them, a scheduler, wait a month for a weekend. You know, this is all pretty self-explanatory. But this could, again, translate to your business. Just to showcase how easy it is to actually build your own customer journey, it's just a drag and drop. It's as simple as we've got a segment of people, we'll schedule the message, and we'll send them the message. So again, that was probably as brief of an overview of customer journeys as possible. But this is essentially how you're going to be building your marketing campaigns. With a nice drag and drop, you just have to put in the background work of building your segments and building your emails, as we went over. So again, how are you communicating with your customers? Is it all in one integrated place, or are you having to export different lists all over the place? Are your marketing team or sales team wasting more time creating the lists than creating new content? Engaging with your customers should be an exciting process. You want to execute the campaign, await the results, and hope that people are interested in what you've got to say. It's all about communication. So just keeping people ticking over and reminding them that you're there to support them. So what we've touched on there, a really basic overview of a customer journey. But of course, you ultimately want to find out who is interested in what you've got to offer. Nobody in marketing is interested in firing content into the abyss with no insights at all. So this is a good time to segue across to insights in our customer journeys. So there are a range of different insights we can dig into on Dynamics 365 marketing, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to skip ahead really into the insights for a campaign that we've set up previously. So if I just search for test in customer journeys, I should have one that I've created earlier. So there we go, marketing test, save submit. So if I click on the email itself here, you'll see I've got this list of KPIs that appear on the right-hand side. There are also these little pie charts on the side. If I click on the pie charts, these will be exported as segments. So I can just create segments for all the unique opens, see who there were. You'll see here it tells me that. But if I just click on the view details button, I can see how successful has the customer journey been. If I click onto this links tab here, hopefully it's going to show you, these heat maps for the emails. How successful have your emails been? For this one, of course, it's test data, but you can see we've got this hot, people have been clicking on the image, the book now, and also the unsubscribe, and it's telling me all this information here. Of course, these are going to heat up a lot more in a real world scenario, but as I keep banging the drum about, this marketing app is going to give you the insight you need to run successful marketing campaigns with minimal hassle. So with one integrated system, you don't need to leave it or go anywhere. You can export data from here. You can view contacts here. You can send them emails, build lists, just check out the interactions of individual customers, for example. These are all people that work at Techman. So this is essentially just dummy data, but we've got, the insights that Natasha's clicked on book now. We've got Stuart going to manage preferences. Just translate this into your business of having, again, your own buy one, get one free offer. I'm sure this insights tab is something that would be very interesting, that I'm sure you'd want that level of insight into all the campaigns you're sending out for your business. So I'm very constrained for time, so I'm just going to do a really, really, really brief overview of surveys. So let's just move over to another topic. So Microsoft Forms Pro, so we'll just go over to it straight away. This is part of Office 365. So if you've got the package in CRM and marketing, you can use Forms again directly within the marketing app. You don't have to leave and go anywhere. But in this demonstration for Microsoft Forms, you can see I've got this nice little questionnaire that I made earlier to save time. If I go over to my responses here, you can see it's really nice and easy to understand if it all loads in. We've got first name, we've got Liam Claire Bryan, we've got the average time to complete. It's the easiest questionnaire tool that I've used before. You simply can just add new questions if you would like. So if we just hop back over, add new questions, we'll go for a rating. What do you rate this presentation? That should be an interesting one, if I can spell that. And let's just whack it to 10 stars. And there we go. The question's been added to the survey straight away. So whether you need responses to a service, a product, or you name it, Microsoft Forms is another really nice tool for you to get the feedback that you want to help you make informed decisions rather than just going off gut feel. This is just another string to the bow of communications that you could be having with your customers, sending out these surveys to them and getting that feedback that could be really important for you. So you want to communicate with them at the right time. And hopefully all of what I've shown you here today will hopefully help you uncover that the marketing app and CRM are the ideal tools for you to manage and strengthen those important relationships that you have. So I believe that is everything. So thank you for your time today. Hope I've managed to provide you with a useful insight into the benefits of Dynamics 365 marketing. Of course, in a 30-minute session, it's very difficult to cover the entire scope of the product. Anyway, that's enough from me. So thanks again.